Well, I don't know about sitting by the pool drinking pina coladas, but Ami Horowitz is back. We haven't seen you for a while, Ami. How are you? In New Orleans, I gather. How are you, mate?
Indeed. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me, guys. It's good to be back.
Now, you've been, as always, you make these terrific videos, and the strength of these videos is how you kind of expose what people really think by speaking to the man or woman in the street. This one is one of your very, very best, I have to say, Ami. It's superb. We'll play little grabs of it in a moment, but basically, you set out to question the gay community in San Francisco about who they preferred or who they sided with in the Israel-Palestine conflict, and they all sided with Palestine. Have a listen.
Do you tend to side more with one side versus the other?
Palestine. We are here to support the Palestinians and give them a right to freedom and the right to self-sovereignty, and also for Israel to sort of maintain its ground and stay in its own lane without infringing on the journeys of others.
I mean, my ex-wife and I talked about it a lot. That's quite frankly how I learned more about it, but it was really about, like, Israel for being such bullies. And
So, Ami, what a great idea. What did you then do?
Incredible and, like, kind of bizarre connection, alliance between the left in general and the gay community specifically and the Palestinians. And on the surface, it makes absolutely no sense, right? They don't share any moral values. In fact, their moral values are in direct conflict with one another, particularly when it comes to gays. So it always vexed me and the pro-Israel community on why that is. Now, ultimately, the reason why it is this notion of intersectionality, the idea that victimhood, and I've always said victimhood is the most corrosive and powerful emotion that humans have, and this proves it, because they say because of our joint victimhood, we are connected and we are allies. And that victimhood overrides even their sense of being, because literally gay people are being murdered and raped by the Palestinians, yet they have avoided that small, sticky issue to say that we're together. So what I did was, after I interviewed them, I actually went to the Palestinian territories. I went to the West Bank, not crazy Hamas, right? Not Islamic fundamentalist Hamas, but the quote unquote moderate West Bank. And what I found was, when I was talking to imams, politicians, men in the street, I had the same exact theme to everybody I spoke with. It was somewhere in the spectrum of, on the least offensive, we need to jail and institutionalize these people, to rape and murder them. And that was a spectrum of ideas that I had on what should be done to the Palestinians. And I put that back to these people.
Ami, I'll just stop you there, Ami, and I'll just show a couple of clips of first you talking to an Islamic preacher in the West Bank, and then I'll play you some of your vox pops where you stopped people, even though your guide told you not to, because he thought it would be too explosive, where you stopped and spoke to people in the streets of the West Bank about gays. So first, here's your Islamic preacher.
What should be done to gay people?
الحكم للي بده يمشي في هاي الطريق ويمشي في هاي الطريق يطبق حكم الإسلام عليه للفاعل والمفعول به.
The honor killings with gays. Can you understand why a father would want to kill his gay son?
Because it's not honor for him.
You then also, Ami, spoke to a gay Palestinian who obviously didn't reveal his face. It was undercover. Let's have a look at that clip as well.
Like, you know, they have fun. They start, you know, abusing them mentally, abusing them physically. And then, like, after they're like they're done and bored, if they're not interested in sleeping with the guys that they arrested, they just put them to jail.
So he was basically saying that the police, the Palestinian police, who he said are identical to the Palestinian Authority, if they suspect you're gay, first of all, they will arrest you, then they will rape you, and then put you in jail, which is bizarre in itself. So what then happened, Ami, after you've done that?
So I did something I normally don't do. I went back to the people that you saw at the beginning of the video, the gay people in San Francisco, and it became a reaction video where they're watching my documentary in real time. And you can see the sea change. You can see them changing their position on this literally as they're watching it. And then when I put it to them afterwards and I said, well, what do you think now? Who do you support now? Every single person I spoke to changed their.
We've just lost, we've just lost Army there. So, sorry, Army, we've just lost you. But the point Army was making, which is true in the video, and I'll show you in a second, is that everybody he showed, every gay person in San Francisco he showed who previously had supported Palestine, changed their mind simply from watching this. Have a look.
A little bit on the situation?
Yeah, I mean, like, I honestly, I didn't know that was even going on, to be honest. So it made me aware of it.
It makes me wonder if the information that I've learned isn't entirely accurate.
So, Army, we just saw a couple of the people you went back to, and what astonished me, but it was so perceptive, was the guy who said, you know, I think I've been fed the wrong information all these years. So you have highlighted the fact not only of what is happening in Palestine to gays, but also the fact that the left are deliberately deceiving the gay community in the West, correct?
Yes, and I think what the takeaway from this thing is that this is look. When people are less jaded than you think, okay? And when confronted with facts and you have them captured in the sense that they're listening to you, they're watching, you can change people's perceptions once the facts, the true facts, are given to them. And that's what I think is positive about this video, was that you saw these people change their perspective in real time once they saw what was really going on. And like they said, not the left-wing talking points they've been fed and they've believed all these years.
But
so that's the positive I take away.
Army, you had the couple, the woman who said, me and my wife used to discuss this all the time. So obviously there was a level of interest, there was a level of knowledge. How could they be ignorant about the Muslim world's attitude to homosexuality and what oppression that community faces in the Middle East? I mean, how could you possibly have that level of ignorance when you're bold enough to express solidarity with the Palestinian cause? I'm just wondering where this comes from, like the level of interest to have an opinion, but then the total lack of knowledge about even the most basic facts.
Rita, welcome to our real world these days. Yes, this is what it's like. Yes, people have very strong positions with absolutely no basis in fact or reality. That's the world that we live in today.
Wild.
Because we're siloed. And that's, by the way, that's for let's be honest, let's be intellectually honest. That's for the left and for the right. We are, in fact, informationally, intellectually siloed, and it is difficult for us to cross-pollinate. And that's, I think, part of the massive problem that we have today in our body politic. That's exactly what the problem is.
Well, I urge people to go and watch this video. It's absolutely superb, and to use it and to show people, show your kids. Army, where can they grab the video?
They can watch it on PragerU.com. They can watch it on my YouTube, PragerU's YouTube. Just, put in Army LGBT and, it'll come up.
Fantastic. Army Horowitz, great to see you. As always, enjoy New Orleans.